Yo, what's going on, guys? Hennes here. Today, we are going to be attempting the Walriders Custom Zombies Map Challenge. Now, this is my very first time playing this map, so I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'm assuming from the previews, what I saw on the Steam Workshop and what I'm seeing now here in the actual map, there's like different places we can travel to around the outside of this map, and the only way we can get to them is by using these wall runs. So I guess there's like perks in different locations. I think I saw a perk down there. Quick revives all the way down there. So that's essentially what we're going to be trying to do. And again, I have no idea how this is going to go. Like I said, my very first attempt, but hopefully it'll be, we'll be able to have a lot of fun. We've got chickens around here as well that we got to shoot to try to obviously complete the Easter egg. And hopefully we'll be able to complete this on our very first try. If you guys enjoy custom zombies challenges, or just zombies in general, then make sure you drop a like and make sure you subscribe as well. I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get right into it. What's going on, Isaiah? How you doing today? Dante, welcome to the stream. What's up, Tyrone? How much storage do I have? A lot of storage, man. A lot of storage. Whoa. Look what I'm just realizing right now. Look at how much... Actually, unfortunately, you guys can't see it, but I have, like, over 130 rounds of ammo for this pistol. That's it. Wait, is it because... No. I was thinking maybe it's because this is the only pistol I'm allowed to have, but I'm allowed to buy wall weapons. That's quite strange. All right, I gotta find all these chickens and shoot them off. What? Okay, hit detection seems a little weird. What's up, Dark Army? How you doing, my man? Welcome to the stream. All right, we gotta find all the chickens. All right, there's a Widow's Wine down there. Got that guy. Let's try to do a little bit more wall running, right? Or not wall running just yet. I want to like get a ton of points before I even go wall running. Because I feel like once we actually get to some new locations, we're gonna want to get all the perks we can. Get to round 40. That might be kind of hard. Is PC good? Yeah, I love PC gaming. It's honestly... I like it a lot more than console gaming, personally. Just because keyboard and mouse for me, it feels so much more natural. Oop. What's up, Cameron? I love all the custom zombies map videos. Hey, thank you, Gamer AL. I appreciate it. I wish these zombies weren't chasing after me so I could actually, like, take the time to shoot these chickens. Okay. Ooh, that trigger finger. Oh, I think I just saw... I saw an infinite ammo. Nice. What's going on, Mr. Rottweiler? How you doing today? Welcome to the stream, my man. What's up, Donovan? Yo, I love the rapid fire on that. I think I had a really pretty heavily concentrated face right there. Can I not shoot the chicken at that distance? I don't even know if you guys can see the chicken. That's all the way down there. It's just literally sitting on the bench. And I literally cannot hit it. I think it's because I'm too far away. I think that's my problem. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to spend like one more round sort of on this main platform. And then I'm going to try to go ahead and hit some of these wall runs and try to go and explore and find where some of these... cool perks are going to be. I'll probably have to buy a weapon here as well. We should probably head to Quick Revive first. That should probably be my first plan of action. Are these soul boxes? Okay, they are. Those little monkeys are soul boxes. I have no idea what the purpose of those are. Hey, what's up, Ernesto? What's up, Cameron? What's up, Mario? Faded comes in with another $2 super chat. I appreciate that, Faded. Thank you, my man. You've played this map, Bino? Yo, don't spoil anything for me, dude. I'm having a lot of fun playing this map right now, actually. I'm gonna need like a speed coal on this. This pistol's insane though. What's up, Caleb? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. If you guys are new to the live stream, you're just tuning in now, make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like. I would really appreciate it. I do have my live like count now on stream, which is insane. Hold on, what is this? Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to skip that donation from Luke again there. Luke just says the darndest things in his donations, man, and I don't know. I don't want to risk getting demonetized. I don't know. Luke, I appreciate your continued support, man. And these, in all honesty, considering that you're just donating to be mean, I feel like these might end up being chargebacks, but obviously I'll just have to wait and see. All right, we've got 7,000 score right now. What I'm going to need to do is hit the wall run and try to go get Quick Revive. So Quick Revive, where did we see Quick Revive earlier? Was it down? Oh, it's right over there. Okay, I can't even hit... Oh, no, I did hit that chicken. Okay, so how am I going to hit this? Do I have to hit this wall run right here? I think I do. I wonder what happens if we fall off the map. Do we just die? I don't even know. Okay, let's try to hit it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so far so good. This doesn't look like it would be too difficult. I feel like maybe if you just make some like small errors here and there, then maybe that's where people will go wrong. But let's pick this up. Okay, this guy was right there. So I get it, hopefully there's no power on this map. Please, 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 please. Yes! There's no power, boys. Let's get it. All right, so we already have Jug. That's actually beastly. Now, all these soul boxes are going to be a real pain in the butt to get to because there's multiples of these everywhere. Is that a chicken all the way up there? Ooh. That's a bullseye right there. That's a bullseye. Good luck. Thanks, AL. I appreciate it. Like the live stream now? Hell yeah. Yeah, I do have a live like count, guys. Right above my live sub count in the lower right-hand corner of my stream. So if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like, it would really mean a lot to me. Helps get the stream out there and is very much appreciated when you guys do that. And obviously subscribe to the channel as well if you guys are new. We've almost got 500 viewers in here right now. So if everybody dropped a like, we should be able to hit 500 likes. If we could do that, get a hashtag like spike in the chat. Hey, what's up, Snacks? Hey, handsome. Ooh. Snacks calling me handsome. I appreciate that. Bailey's in here as well. Please shout out. Hey, what's going on? How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Snacks called me handsome. I'm blushing. I don't know how to handle all that. 500 likes. Let's go. Hell yeah. What's up, Michael? Can my channel get a shout out? The Gaming God. Shout out to you, my man. All right. I don't want to get that just yet. Let's try to fill up this soul box here actually first. We can see what kind of reward we're going to get out of this. Only one zombie left? Oh, there's only one zombie. Let's see if we can fill that up. LMAO. That could give us anything? It's got to be so close to being filled up. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Is this one of those, like, gargoyle things? Or what are those things called that were, like... I don't know. Hey, what's up, Owen? How you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Yo, what's up, Hamza? Welcome to the stream. Sup, always watch your videos? Hey, thank you, Miguel. I appreciate it, man. I've missed so much. Nah, Nathan, you're good, bro. We literally just started the stream like not too long ago, dude. So you're coming in. You're getting to see all the good stuff right now. All the good and exciting stuff. We probably should have filled up. Ooh. We probably should have filled up all the soul boxes that were like on the very first main platform that we came from before we came over here. It would have been a good opportunity for us to get as much score as possible too. Hey, what's up, Howard? What's up, Inflamed Blood? I told you that I'm a new active viewer. Hey, thank you, Tastiest. I appreciate it, my man. Okay. How many? Okay, no, I was going to say, that better fill up. What do we get here? Double points? All right, let's use that to fill up this next one. What's up, Garrett? How you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. Is that all of them? There's still a couple more. We got a max ammo and a death machine. That's really nice. One more zombie somewhere. Ooh. Nice. Oh, we got 2 death machines. Okay, okay. 69 sponsors now. Hey, Hennis growing strong. Love how far you're progressing this channel. Hey, thank you, man. Honestly, so much of it comes from you guys, though. The support that you guys show my channel is absolutely insane. Yo, Owen comes in with the donut, man. I appreciate that, brother. All right, we gotta slide all the way back here now.
Going live. I like raids, he, but you want to open my Grand Slam when I get 20 wins or 15 away.
Yo, I would be
less than 3.
I would be 100% down to do that, man, because I haven't done like a Grand Slam opening in a very, very long time. So 100% I would be down to help open up your Grand Slam for you. Owen, I appreciate your donut, man. Again, you're one of my top supporters. I appreciate it very much, brother. What's up, Poncho? Let's get some pro hype in the chat for Owen. I would appreciate it. What's up, Adam? What type of PC do I have? It's a custom build from iBuyPower, my man. I wish I still had that death machine. Oh, we just got a free perk. All right. What do we think? Okay, I want to see you guys' predictions in the chat right now. See if you guys can predict what perk that is. I'm curious. I want to see who can correctly guess what perk we're going to get out of that right now. What's up, Marcos? We have as much time to pick it up as we want. I'm like 99% sure. I want to see what you guys are going to guess. What's up, Tactical? What's up, Wolf Swain? Stamina Up? Who's Who? Speed Cola? Double Tap? Widow's Wine? I hope it's Widow's Wine. If it's Widow's Wine, that'd be insane. We've got over 500 viewers. Wait, no, it goes away? I didn't think... Okay. That's only slightly embarrassing. Can we get a pro what spam in the chat, please? So I guess we're gonna get nothing out of it. That's a little bit unfortunate. God damn it, man. God damn it. Feels sad, man. Feels sad. Alright. Let's pick this up. Head over to wherever the next soul box is. Right here.
This is weapon for Nikolai.
Yo. Effing, yo, someone just called me a retard. Listen, man, I could have sworn that, like, all those drops that you get from, like, the soul boxes didn't go away and you could just, like, pick them up whenever. But I guess they don't do that. What's up, Texas Legend? How you doing today, Feed? Welcome to the stream. Maybe we'll get one out. Oh, okay. Predictions. Actually, no, I'm just gonna pick it up. I'm not even gonna risk it. Deadshot. I feel like Deadshot is like that. Why did I just pick that up? I feel like Deadshot is the perk that like everybody gets on their very first. Whenever you get one of those from a soul box, like legitimately every time I do any map, doesn't matter what it is, I always get Deadshot as like the very first perk out of a soul box. I don't know why. Now we'll never know. Now we'll never know what we would have gotten out of that. Don't listen to the haters. Hell yeah, man. Let's get that trigger finger on point here. Bang, bang. Oh, okay. Now they're all starting to come. I really want to try to go to some more of these locations because some of these wall map maneuvers look insane. Ooh. Didn't even notice that chicken in here.
Give me back all my money or I charge back.
That's not how it works, Luke. I appreciate your dollar donation, my man, but it says right on my donation page and in my description that when you donate, you agree that all donations are non-refundable. So, unfortunately, you can't charge back, man. I mean, you can try, but you won't win, unfortunately, for you. But I appreciate your dollar donation, man. That's why you shouldn't donate to people if you don't actually want to. So, I don't know why you continue to keep donating to me, but I appreciate your support nonetheless. I think you've donated like $5 in total. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hennis, read the first part of my message? Yeah, sorry. Okay, Hennis, I'm gonna live. I like raids. He. Listen, Owen, I know, man. I know. There's a lot of people that like raids, brother. I don't know who I'm gonna raid after the stream. We'll see. What's up, Black Spider? How you doing today, man? You should play Rainbow or R6, or excuse me, Rainbow or R6, Fortnite or R6. Fortnite is a really cool game. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't know. Give it back, Luke Sinclair. Man, when you donate, you agree that the donations are non-refundable, bro. I mean, I guess if you really wanted the money back, I could send it back to you, I guess. But damn, it's kind of a, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a douchebaggy thing to do. I'm not gonna lie. What's up, Pro Hennis G? How you doing, my man? All right, let's try to hit up another one of these wall runs. I'm gonna try to go in this way. I wonder. So how do the zombies get to the next location? I think they just all end up dying, and then they pop up in whatever like boxes in this like the new location. Did you guys notice how there's like those spawn boxes? Oh no, I can't reach that chicken. I wouldn't have been able to get it. This wall ride challenge is really cool though. Ah shoot. Ooh. I thought I was gonna fall off the map right there. That would have really sucked. Oh, is this the buyable ending? Now watch, they're all gonna spawn right here. I'm pretty sure. So PhD Flopper, we could get that. Yeah, this is the buyable ending right here. Oh, there's a part. Okay, neat. What's up, Shahir? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. Alright, yeah. This is gonna be very interesting how this is all gonna work out. We're gonna have to swerve around here. What's up, Anna? How you doing today? You're a genuine and positive guy, down-to-earth guy. You deserve everything coming your way. Yo, Raspberry, I appreciate the kind words, dude. I really, really do. Honestly, they mean a lot. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's up, Dylan? How you doing today? What's up, Rockio? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Ooh. Oh, we got another free perk. Okay. I'm actually gonna pick that up right now. Let's see what we're gonna get. And we got the infinite ammo here too. What's up, Owen? Welcome to the stream. You got stamina? Okay, I'll take that. What's up, Sebastian? How you doing today, my man? Look at how fast this mug... It's like jittering. It's blowing up so fast. Nice. All right, let's go buy Vulture Aid. I really hope that this map isn't one of those maps that's glitched, where like you'll buy Vulture Aid and allow all the zombies are gonna have that like those green blocks around it. That would really suck. So we might as well buy PhD Flopper for the hell of it. I mean, I'm probably gonna want to end up buying every single perk anyways. I love that this warship is like the final thing. That's kind of cool. You're low-key my favorite YouTuber. I appreciate that, Tristan. Yep. I was about to say. What's up, Diego? Says love your videos. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yo, is O Custom in here? Is O Custom in the stream? Yeah, we've got 600 viewers right now. You guys are insane. Thank you very much for that support. It means a lot, guys. It really, really does. Okay, so I think we've got to crawl back this way. I'm going to try to hit this chicken here now, too. Wasn't there a chicken? No. Let me shoot it. Thank you. We got to get all the chickens that are on these wall rides, too. They're going to be really hard to get. Okay, keep moving this way. I really don't want to fall off the map, because I think if you fall off the map, that counts as a death, essentially. Or I would imagine it would. Okay. Back here on the main stage. What's up, Poppy Seed? Ezekiel, yes, I do remember you. Welcome. What's up, Nave? Okay, have we tried to go this way yet? This way looks really long. That's what she said. Okay, let's do it. What's up, Brandon? Welcome to the stream. If you guys are enjoying, make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like. I would really, really appreciate it. It helps the stream grow. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy custom zombies challenges, or just zombies in general, then please make sure you do go ahead and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. When you do subscribe, you'll see your names pop up right below my face cam, and you'll see the live sub count go up in the lower right-hand corner as well. All right, electric cherry. There's another part here. Ooh, don't want to miss that. Let's grab ourselves speed cola. Oh, we can get Widow's Wine here as well, which would be nice. Ooh. Okay, we do have the DIY here, so I guess we can use that to get ourselves some points. Let me pick up this. Oh, man. These guys are getting really hard to kill here, actually. Yeah, let's be careful about this. I really don't want to go down here. Z Hunter. I heard watch out for the death barriers. Oh, is there death barriers on this map? That's kind of a shame. Alright. It's a shame that we have to watch out for those, but I'll be sure to do that. Thank you, Z Hunter. I appreciate it, man. Hannah's the thumbnail is awesome. Yo, thank you, brother. I'm glad that you like it so much. Unfortunately, we gotta buy the DIY. Ooh. You can actually hear how much slower this thing shoots now that we don't have double tap. That's insane. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Mickey? Hello, Hannes. I love your vids. I subscribed. Good luck so far. Thank you, man. I said we Gucci like the shirts with the snakes on them. Hell yeah. Are you Logan Paul? Yeah, I'm Logan Paul, dude. Logang for life. Yo, guys, we're actually 11 likes away. 11 likes away from hitting 500 likes in the stream. So if you guys are new, definitely make sure you do go ahead and drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe if you are new. When you do subscribe, you're going to see your names pop up right below my face cam. And you'll see the live sub count go up in the lower right-hand corner as well. I want to grab that double points really badly. Oh, what we get here? Oh, the Bowie knife? It's not exactly what we're looking for. What's up, Armando? How you doing? Welcome. Oh, man, do I wish I had... Wait, is that an insta-kill? I feel like an insta-kill would be... That's perfect right now. What's good, Cody? How you doing, my man? We got the Bowie knife here. I want to try to knife all of them just to get as many points as possible. What's good, Garrett? What's up, Hunter Filler? Best gamer in the world? Nah. All right, actually, let's pick this up. Let's hit the wall run again. Now that we've got Vulture 8, you can see some of the zombies like glitching across like the map as they teleport to like the new locations. That's pretty cool, actually. Unfortunately, we can't grab that too easily. I don't want to risk falling off the map either. Okay. We've gotten to so many different locations. I just saw a chicken all the way over here. I kind of want to try and go get it. It was sitting on top of... Was it on top of one of these buildings? I think it was. I love how I'm like actually physically turning my head. Or maybe it was that one right there. What the hell? Okay, thank you. I was about to say, what's up, Fatal Swagger? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. Okay, I don't think we haven't gone this way yet. Let's, have we gone this way yet? No, we haven't. All right, let's go this way. What's up, Joshua? Best Velo 3 player in the world? Nah, I wish I was. That'd be kind of cool. But not anywhere near that caliber, unfortunately. All right, yeah, we already went to Jug over there. This is a long wall ride here. This is a really cool map, though. Like, talk about, I don't know, wall riding and zombies, I think, is actually pretty cool. What's up, Mugs? How you doing today? What do the chickens do? So the chickens are part of the Easter egg, essentially, is from what I understand. This is something that this developer, You Always Win, kind of has in a lot of his maps. What is this? Is that the FAMAS? Yeah. The FFAR, I should say. Additional parts required. All right, so we're still missing some stuff. Yeah, look at the zombies like glitch. You guys see that? They're like teleporting over to the new location. That's kind of cool. Rice Crispy. Yes, I do remember you, man. What's up, Aaron? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Crazy Kid? I remember you as well. How can I not remember Crazy Kid? If you die, if you don't die if you fall. Oh, you don't? Do you just get like teleported back to the main part of the map or something? Or like what happens to you? Let me try to pick up whatever this is. Oh, it's the VMP? Hell yeah. I'll pick up that max ammo. Nice. Was that all of them? That was. Hey, yo, what's up, Gucci? How you doing today, Tastiest? What's up, Jack Awesomeness? Welcome to the stream. Guys, we have almost 600 likes in the stream already. Thank you very much for all that support, guys. That's insane. Thank you to all of the new subscribers as well. We're less than 300 subscribers away from hitting 183,000 subscribers. I kind of want to keep this pistol just because it has so much ammo in it, and that's kind of cool. I'm going to keep it. What's up, Cody? If you die, you'd be so triggered. Oh, I would be triggered, man, 100%. 100% I'd be triggered. I really wish we didn't buy Vulture. That was such a waste. I mean, maybe it'll help me in some scenarios, but for the most part, I really don't think that it will. Is that going to get filled up yet? All right, now let's move over this way then. What's up, daily vloggers? How you doing today, Recoil? Ooh, I want that. I want that speed boost thing. Nice. Can I hide in this? That's why I love Vulture. That's one of the most powerful perks ever. That's so good. Vulture is an amazing perk. And we got, what is that, monkeys? Hell yeah. We did pick it up, right? Okay, yeah, we did. Cool. Let's hit the wall right again and make our way back to the next station. We got to figure out where the rest of these parts are because I do want to build the shield very badly. What's up, Snow Games? How you doing today, my man? Welcome a la stream. Okay, I don't want to start going so fast that we like fall off the map. That would really suck. This is a very colorful map though. My god. Okay, so what is over there? That's Widow's Wine. We already got that. Did we already hit this wall run? I think we did. Actually, I'm not 100% sure though. What's good, the Gaming Bird? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Philip Ray? What's up, XXG? XXXG, I should say. We already go this way? I think we did. Yeah, we already went this way, didn't we? Yeah, because this is where, this is where Vulture is. Shoot, and Pack-a-Punch. Okay. So, joke's on us. We already made it all the way over here. Damn it. So, that was kind of a waste. So, this is the viable ending. So, I just got to start to remember, like, the colors of where we've already gone. That's what I really got to try to remember. What's up, Cody? How you doing, my man? Welcome. I could buy the M16. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Still 14 zombies left. I want to find out where the next stations are. What's up, David? How you doing, my man? What's up, Ghosty? You don't have widows? Oh, we don't have widows. Yo, can I turn around? Do I even want to risk that? Okay. Never mind. We can't turn around. So I guess if you fall off, you don't die. That's a solid rip in the chat. Was it this one? Yeah, it was 100% this one. Okay, look, can we get a rip in the chat for that? Thank you, chat, for reminding me, because I don't have Widow's Wine. I guess I thought I bought it when I was over there, but for some reason I didn't. I don't know why. I like the video. Hey, thank you, Aaron. That means a lot to me, man. So we still know there's some chickens around the map as well. How did I choke that, dude? What the hell? Dude, I'm starting to become a pleb at this. Wait, so where was I going? I was over here. What's up, Gabriel? R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Okay, we're not going to fall off again. I promise. I promise you, chat. We won't take any more L's. I will do this flawlessly from this point on. Off, on, forward. Okay, I'm actually kind of confused now. How did I fall off that? Okay. It's like I was pressing spacebar too late. It's like I was doing everything so flawlessly and so perfectly at the beginning, and I just... Okay. Let's not choke. We can do this. Here we go. There we go. Alright, we made it. Ooh. Except, why did I come back here? You guys said I didn't have Widow's Wine, and in my mind, I thought that was Widow's Wine. Holy bejesus, I am out of it right now. My lord. Alright, I'm going to kill the rest of these zombies. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to leave one of them. I'm going to Pack-a-Punch the VMP. You're going to fall? Nah. I want to Pack-a-Punch this pistol here too, actually. Pack-a-Punch that. Oh, I love how it gives us... What is that? That's the Bliss camo, I think, from multiplayer, right? Wrong one? Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for letting me know that is the wrong one, my man. It's... Oh, no, it's a 3-round burst pistol now? That's pretty neat. Alright, I promise, guys, I'll try to not be as much of a scrub for the rest of the game. So we know this long one is the one that brings us back to the viable ending. That's all we got to remember, really. We got one zombie left. It gives us a little bit more time to explore the map. We got to find out where this last... I think there's only one last part, thing for the buildable left. Okay, so we went on that one. Widow's Wine is this one. Okay, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. Yo, I appreciate it, guys. We've got over 700 viewers right now. You guys are absolutely insane. Really do appreciate all the support. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, definitely make sure you go ahead and drop a like. I'm sorry I'm being kind of a pleb right now, but I promise most of the time I'm not a pleb. I swear. My plebeianness is just coming out hard on this Saturday. Okay. Widow's Wine. How did we miss to buy this perk? It's like the best perk in the game. You're bad? Listen, dude. Listen. Listen. I know. I know I'm bad. Okay, so all we needed to get over there was Widow's Wine. I think there's a total of 4 different wall runs we can take on this map, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually thinking now, if you don't die when you fall off the map, I think a faster way to get back to the main platform is just to fall off the map. If you don't die, if there's no punishment for falling off the map, right? I guess that's really all that you have to do. Alright, we haven't gone all the way out there yet. I think this is the one spot that we haven't explored yet. So let's go all the way down here. This is probably going to be where the last part is. And where the last perks are. Yeah, see, I see stamina up down here. We already have stamina up, because we got that from a soul box. Okay, that chicken's going to be kind of hard to get. It'll probably be easier to get it for over here. All right, there's 3 more perks over here. Double tap, thank God. Can I ask you something? Absolutely, my man. Hit me. Buy this. And there's the last shield part. Cool. Cool, fill that up. Let me pick up that part. That. What's good, Carter? How you doing today, man? Do I have a Discord? Yeah, if you do want access to the Discord, guys, type !Discord in the chat. It'll give you access to my YouTuber Discord. Guys, we're about to, we're actually getting kind of close to hitting 183,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of you guys that are new coming into the stream. If you guys haven't smacked a like yet or subscribed, I would really appreciate it. Definitely helps the stream grow a lot. When you guys do subscribe as well, you're going to see your names pop up right here below my face cam, and you'll see the live sub count go up in the lower right-hand corner as well. What's up, DDE? Sorry I'm late to the stream. Hey, no worries, Frozen Gamer. No worries, man. Alright, I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that at all. I don't want that nuke either. Come over here this way, zombies. Yeah, I feel like pack-punching this thing was definitely the right move. We probably filled that up all the way, right? I think we did. What's up, Nathan? Still 8 zombies left? What the hell? I guess, no, we don't want to pick up that nuke. Free perk? Oh, we got Tombstone. I don't even think Tombstone is a perk you can pick up on this map. Or you can buy on this map, I should say. So that's actually a really nice steal. That's gotta be the rest of that soul box, right? You may now escape if you can. Okay, so we got all the, the soul boxes. Alright, sick. That's perfect. We have not gotten, unfortunately, every single chicken yet, so we do have to complete the Easter egg for sure. What's up, Cody Snow? Discord link will pop up. Okay, so I guess I either mistyped it or Nightbot's not in here. Ooh, that was kind of rough. I'll be sure to get Nightbot in here. Actually, you know what? Let me try to get Nightbot in here right now. Apologize for that. Nightbot should definitely be in the stream, no doubt. Ooh, stay back. Okay. Yeah, there was that one. Where was the buildable station? I actually completely forget. We can actually go build the part for this? I don't even remember. Nightbot. Log in. I'm trying to go log into Nightbot, guys, while I'm training zombies. This is not an easy thing to do. Alright, log in with YouTube. Join channel. Alright, Nightbot should now be in, guys. Nightbot should now be in here. So all the Nightbot commands that you guys want to use, you can now use. My bad. Sorry about that. Nightbot just likes to leave the stream all the time. It's good. Night Dev's got to work on that. But yeah, !Discord should now work. Okay. So what was... That's Widow's Wine down there. The crafting station wasn't down there too, was it? I don't believe it was. Exclamation... Yeah, you guys can type !coins. That's all handled by the Probot. Check the spawn for zombies. Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, was it buildable? No, I don't think it was down there. Was it at Quick Revive? Guys, it's kind of cool that we can see the platform a little bit. Deadshot's down there. Jug. Oh, we haven't gotten Who's Who, have we? No, we have. What's up, X-Pro Ammo? How you doing today? Get the Hell's Retriever? Let's try to actually get the Hell's Retriever. Let's try it. We gotta hit this wall run nice and low. Nice, we got it. Beautiful. Oh, I think it's actually, I think the crafting thing is at the viable ending, if I'm not mistaken. I'm 99% sure now. No, it's over here. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. We just got entirely lucky. What's up, Trey? How you doing today, Carter? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you tuning in. Okay. Craft the zombie shield. It's the yellow wall? Yeah. Alright, so we've already got who's who. We've already gotten all these perks. Let's try to hit the box, because I'm pretty sure there's some unique weapons that come out of the mystery box, like some old custom weapons, which is awesome. What the hell? Where'd all the zombies go? Wait, how did we not able to pick that up? We have mule kick? What the hell? I thought... what? Okay, what did we get out of here? What is that? The ballista? Hell yeah. Did we actually grab a shield? We did grab it. Yeah, we did. What's up, Casual? How you doing today, my man?
You think strength in numbers will give advantage?
Beautiful. What's up, Ariel? How you doing today, the Fluffy God? What's up, the Gaming God? How do I use coins? You guys can use coins to enter into giveaways that I do at the end of every single month over here on my channel. We give away gift cards, we give away COD points, we give away G Fuel products, a ton of really awesome stuff, so pretty sweet. I've been subscribed now for 3 months. Hey, appreciate it, George. Thank you, man. We are at 69 sponsors, which is actually crazy. Thank you guys very much for that. That's actually ridiculous. It's literally insane. So if you guys are interested in becoming a sponsor, you can check out the link right at the top of the description down below. I actually want to grab the Chai-Con. Holy Jesus, that's loud. That is insanely loud. What the hell? Someone turned the decibel level a little too high for this weapon, and we're already out of ammo with it. That's hilarious. All trigger finger, guys. All trigger finger. Oh, the MG. Yes. The MG8. Oh. Career ending. Career ending. I always love watching your streams. Hey, thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate that, my man. Raspberry Nipper. Where's Pack-a-Punch on this map? It was over in the same area as, I believe, Jug and Quick Revive, if I'm not mistaken. Zombie cat? Oh, we just lost 1,500. That's disgusting. Hennis, where's the merch? I know, guys. I know merch is on the way. Trust me, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes for that. I think, honestly, I'm just waiting for somebody to get back to me with some ideas about how the contract for merch is going to go. And then once that's all completed, then I can actually start selling it. We only have, like, really a couple basic designs right now, but I think it'll kind of be a good start, get you guys an idea of exactly what my merch is going to look like. And then the more support you guys show it, obviously, the more different options we can bring to you guys as far as designs go and, you know, different things to sell it on and all that good stuff. What's up, Pond? What's up, Ezekiel? How you doing today? Just remember my name. Yo, Wake is in here as well. He's still in the basement, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wake, don't say anything in the stream, man. The merch before Christmas. Yeah, the merch is going to come before Christmas, guys. 100%. 100% the merch will come before Christmas. I really want to figure out where this last chicken is. Because there's still a chicken left on this map. We have not completed the Easter egg yet. We got to explore every single wall run now. Because I know there's still a couple left. Or maybe it might just be one left. Who knows? Yeah, so Pack-a-Punch wasn't over here. What was the wall by right here? That was just the KRM. Okay, so we know it's not here. Hey, what's good, Garrett? How you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. Oh, shoot. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. But I guess, yeah, if we fall off the map, then it doesn't even really matter. We don't even die. Okay, we know it's not this way, right? Don't we know that kind of for sure? Where's the platform on the other side? Oh, that kind of brings us all the way... Yeah, I even forget where that brings us. All right, Widow's Wine is all the way down there. I don't even know. Holy... Wait, we just got a $20 super chat from Cody Snow? Cody, I appreciate that. And Andreas came in with a $1 super chat. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much for that support. That's insane. Thank you to both of you guys. Holy crap. Cody Snow. Thank you, man, for the $20 super chat, brother. This guy donated and didn't even leave a message with his donation. Just straight up donated. Thank you very much, Cody, for the $20, man. That's insane, brother. That is insane. Can we get a Cody spam in the chat, guys? I would really appreciate it. That's a very generous donation, brother. Very generous. What's up, Claudia? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Kevin? You know what I bet it is? You know what I bet? I think the chickens that are left are like within the actual spawn boxes. I think those are the only ones that are left. So we gotta go, I think those are all gonna be in the main spawn area. So let's go back. Actually, let's just fall off the map. Fall off the map. Okay, back here. So some of the chickens are gonna be in here. We're just gonna have to literally go and explore every single one of these. Let's do it systematically. So, out of there, out in there, out in there.
Why did no one tell Nikolai he was so popular with hell pigs?
You gotta check the red ones in the middle too. You saw the Easter egg. Hey, there it is. What's up, Gavin? How you doing today, man? Go find your random pack-a-punch weapon. All right, I saw it fall over here. Yo, King O just became a sponsor of the channel. King O, I do appreciate that, man. We got this special weapon, boys. Let's go ahead and use it. What's up, Gavin? What's up, Nate? Welcome to the stream. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. This is actually perfect.
Your numbers mean nothing.
That was actually legendary. What's up, Aaron? How you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. But yo, thank you very much for my 70th sponsor, bro. That's insane. King O, thank you very much for that, brother. Your name should come up on screen here in just a second now, and the live sponsor count should also update.
Welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you?
Yo, King O, thank you very much for becoming a sponsor, man. You are my 70th sponsor. 5 sponsors away, guys, from hitting 75 sponsors, and then I'll actually be able to add even more emotes to for my sponsors to use to the stream. So because the more sponsors you have, the more emotes you can have in the stream. So thank you very much for all of that, guys. That's literally insane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 70 sponsors. Hopefully that live sponsor count actually updates in the lower right hand corner. I'm hoping it'll update. I don't know why it's not updating. Might just be a little bit delayed or something like that. But I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. King O to you especially. If any of you guys are interested in becoming sponsors, there's a link right at the top of the description down below. It is a $4.99 per month payment. You can cancel it at any time, though. And when you do become a sponsor of the channel, you'll have a cool sponsor badge right next to your name. You get access to all the sponsor emotes to use in the chat. You can see what all those sponsor emotes are in the description. I follow every single sponsor back on Twitter. I add every single sponsor back on PlayStation. Ton of really awesome perks. All of those are outlined in the description down below. Make sure you guys check that out and take advantage of it if it is something you guys do choose to support me with, because I would really, really appreciate it.
Time for barrel to spin, and bullets to spray.
What's up, Epic? How you doing today, man? I sponsored, but it didn't show. Ryan, when you sponsor, brother, you'll have the sponsor badge next to your name, so there's no way to you can't fake it like a donation. You can't even fake donations, but when you sponsor, you'll see the badge next to your name, and that's how you'll know that it actually went through and that it worked. This thing is too powerful. I absolutely love this pistol. We could have literally used this pistol for the entire game. That's how powerful this thing is. That's crazy, man. You're a sexy nerd, Hennessy. Awake. You're a sexy beast, brother. You are a sexy beast. What's up, Matthew? 100% getting Hennessy merch for Christmas? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I feel like we just got to get like the pro face emoji just right on the shirt. My sponsor didn't show up. I'm serious. True killer. Then the transaction must not have gone through, man. If you give me a shout out, I'll donate $100, bro. Every shout out every donation gets a huge shout out, man. So trust me, if you donate $100, you get a hefty shout out, brother. Absolutely. Appreciate all the guys that are new subscribers today. Everybody dropping a like really means a lot. Thank you very much for that. We are on the road to 183,000 subscribers. That's the next sort of small goal, with the big goal being 100 or 200,000 subscribers. So the live sponsor count doesn't work, or the live like count. The live like count's working, guys, 100%. The live like count should definitely be working. You may be seeing like a lower like count if you haven't like refreshed your page in a while, but if you refresh your page, you should be able to see the most updated like count. What gun is that? This is the Mustang No Salad. That's what the pack-a-punch name is anyway. What does RIP do? That's the Tombstone perk, my man. I made this G Fuel before I started the stream, and I haven't even drank any of it yet. What's up, Hector? Keep up the great work, Kenneth. Thank you, Ernesto. Ever thought of opening up a P.O. box so we can send you stuff? Ooh. I don't know. I mean, obviously it has crossed my mind, but I don't know. It's kind of scary to think about that. It feels weird to let you guys send me stuff, because like I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be kind of cool, but like I don't know what you guys would send me. You know, I feel like it'd be kind of some weird stuff. Honestly, most of you guys are really nice, obviously, just because I've come to get to know so many of you from my stream. But I don't know. It might be kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Fight my
Not
way
gonna lie.
out of any situation.
Now I'm working on mod status law. Hey, King O, true man. Honestly, dedication, support, and you'll get there, brother. 100%. Do I want to pick up that nuke? Nah. We gotta wait for the rest of these zombies to spawn. We have like no ammo right now, so I kind of want to go and pick up all that. Okay, now we're out of ammo with the VMP. That was very short-lived. Ooh. Nah, I can't get that. I can't get the time warp thing. It's in the nuke. Oh, I didn't mean to pick up the nuke. Lol. Can I pick this up? Look at the zombies in slow motion. Looks kind of cool, actually. Another nuke? Where do they go? Let's pick that up. What's up, Unknown Duck? What's up, Joshua? What's this map called? This map is called Wall Riders Challenge. Hey, what's good, Ranger Chris? How you doing today, brother? Welcome to the stream. All right, 2 zombies left. Where are they? Got him. What's up, Casual? How you doing today? You're the best. Hey, I appreciate it, Mod. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I've been here since 80K, Mod. Listen, Wilson, I know there's a lot of people who come in here and support my streams, guys, like on a daily basis. And it really means a lot. But I can't mod everybody, unfortunately. All right, let's go hit this wall ride. We're going to go back to the mystery box. Try to get that. I want to pick up this Hell's Retriever now, too. Try to get that. Nope, never mind. That was... we're going to act like we didn't see that. Like that actually didn't happen. You lit? Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Oh, no, we need to hit the wall run perfectly low at that level so we can pick it up on our when we run by. If we're too high up on the wall run, we won't be able to get it. Nice. Barely got it. Let's get it. I love your streams. Thank you, man. How do you donate, Casual? If you do want to donate, man, there is a link at the top of the description down below. Or not at the top of the description. At the top of the description, there's the link to become a sponsor of the channel, which in all honesty is probably better than donating because you actually get some rewards when it comes to paying money to the stream or donating money to the stream. Instead of just donating money and not getting anything in return, you can actually get a sponsor badge, access to the sponsor emotes. I add all sponsors back on PlayStation. I follow all sponsors back on Twitter. So you get a ton of cool rewards for becoming a sponsor. But if you do want to donate, obviously the donation link is down there as well if you wanted to donate more than $5 or less than $5, obviously. How do you get the custom zombies maps? All through the Steam Workshop, man. What are we going to get out of this? Oh, the ace. I want to pack a bunch of this, 100%. Yeah, I'm pack a bunch of this. I'm sorry. It has to happen. Will there be merch giveaway for Christmas? Ooh, maybe. That might actually be kind of cool. A merch giveaway for Christmas? Yeah. I would definitely be down to do that. Hey, what's good, Joseph? How you doing today, my man? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's get these guys in a good train again. Come on, be unwidow's wine yourself. Second map? I'm not sure what the second map is going to be just yet. I haven't quite decided. Obviously, there's like infinitely cool custom zombies maps we could play. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Dalkin? How you doing today, man? I'll super chat $500, can I? Xavier Malando. I mean, you could, bro, but that's a lot of money, man. So just obviously make sure that that's something you'd be, willing to do. Can't wait to get the G Fuel. Hell yeah! If you guys are fans of G Fuel, use code Hennis for 10% off. I got G Fuel right in front of me right now. The new raspberry sherbet flavor. I haven't tried the new peach iced tea yet. Oh no! Shoot, they're all gonna go back to the middle part of the map, man. That's so lame. I'm sorry, but I gotta leave. I have football practice. Hey, no worries, Ranger Chris. Have a good time, man. I did a $100 donation and nothing happened. That's probably because you didn't donate $100, man. Okay, I don't know how that happened. Woo! Alright, where is Pack-a-Punch? I gotta get better at, like, mapping out how this whole map is, or getting an idea of how this whole map is laid out. Where was Pack-a-Punch? Was it down there? Can't quite remember. I don't think it was down there. Hell's Retrievers right there. Dismo, raspberry sherbet flavor. Sponsored by G Fuel, doesn't know the flavors. Wait, raspberry sherbet. Wait, isn't... I said the new peach iced tea flavor, didn't I? Didn't I say the new peach iced tea flavor? Isn't that what I said? What's up, Mystic? How you doing today, Keith? Welcome. Hyped to play BO2 Zombies again? Yeah, I haven't played BO2 Zombies in a very long time. In a very, very long time. Any Pack-a-Punch is down here? Nope. I done played myself. Okay. Let's run all the way back. Actually, let's just fall off the map. Okay, so we know it's not the blue. Is it the red? Is Pack-a-Punch over at the red? No, I'm like 99% sure it's not over at the red. I think it was over by the Widow's Wine, wasn't it? My gut wants to tell me it's over there. I feel like that's wrong, though. Or it could be this way? I don't even know, dude. What's up, Kobe? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Joshua? If you guys are new to the stream, definitely make sure you guys do go ahead and drop a like. We're actually already 200 likes away from hitting 1,000 likes in the stream, guys. Thank you for that. That's insane. I was watching Noah, but then I saw you streaming. Hey, you're making the right decisions out here, man. I appreciate that. All right, yeah. So Pack-a-Punch is at the buyable ending here. Cool, cool, cool. Let's check how much the buyable ending is, because we have filled up all the soul boxes. How much is that? Oh, we could buy it right now. Holy Jesus. All right, let's Pack-a-Punch this. Trigger figure is insane. That's too much fun, man. I gotta try to use that more often. Why is there green stuff behind you? That's all the, that's Vulture man. So that's Vulture. If you're talking about, like, the green blocks that are behind the zombies, that's, like, some Vulture glitch. I don't know what that is, but that happens all the time on these custom zombies maps, and it sucks. It's terrible. What's up, Isaiah? Yo, what's up, Craft Mystic? How you doing today, man? I haven't said hello to you in a while. What's good? What's my favorite food? Steak. Steak is my favorite food. I don't even know if you can consider that. I don't know. I feel like that's too broad, maybe. Like a ribeye steak, maybe? Yeah, ribeye steaks. What's up, the gaming god? It's your birthday in 15 days? Hey, well, happy early birthday to you, man. Hey, Manraj, what's good, brother? Come in, testing those new sponsor emails. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. All right, let's go pick this back up. What do we get double packing it? A turned? Ugh, that's gross. Turned is bad. We don't want turned. We don't want that. I just joined. What's up, Caden Smith? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Fireworks? That is too much fun to use, man. Wait. More zombies coming here soon. Yep. No way, dude. This is crazy fun. I feel like I'm spawn trapping. What's up, Muhammad? How you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. That's awesome. Yeah, this is pretty dope, actually. Ah, no, I ran out. That was a shame. What does fireworks help with? It just helps with killing the zombies, man. That sounds so cool. You look like a hacker? Yeah, pretty much, right? I look like I'm hacking the game or something. Do I watch Swiftdoor's channel? I watch Swiftdoor every now and then, man. Yeah, like from Swiftdoor Says, watch him all the time. I remember, like, when that first came out, that was so cool. Like, Swiftdoor Says, I used to watch that all the time. Can I Pack-a-Punch this again? I can repack it. And I got fireworks. That's awesome. Hennis, do I smoke? No, I do not smoke, no. Alright, let's Pack-a-Punch this, too. Might as well Pack-a-Punch everything, right? At this point. You should try hide and seek in zombies? Hide and seek in zombies. That would actually be pretty funny. Obviously impossible to do, but pretty sweet. What camo is this? My graphics settings are too low. I feel like I can't even make out what this... what that camo is. Hold on, let me Pack-a-Punch it again. See if the camo changes. Do I do any drugs? No. Hannes is a Brecky spawn trapper? Yeah, 100%. Oh, the camo went away! Oh, wait a minute.
This weapon is so beautiful.
Guys, I'm a pro zombie player. That was actually kind of fun, not gonna lie. Hi, had this new subscriber. Hey, thank you, JH. I appreciate you tuning in, my man. This is a really cool map, not gonna lie. I like this map a lot. 10 zombies left. How do you play custom zombies? You gotta have Black Ops 3 on the PC, my man. Unfortunately, not any of these custom zombies maps. I don't think they're even available on PC, on like PS4. What's my name on PS4? Carnage Hennis. KRNGHENIS. Low-key and Adderall gobbler? Yeah, exactly, right? You guys know me. Adderall all day, every day. Wait, do I have... no, I've got dead wire on this. Fireworks, fireworks. Let's try to get something else. Aside from turd. Anything other than turn. Yeah, let's go to Italian Turtle. I think I've already said hello to you. Thunderwall on a pistol? That's actually kind of funny. What's up, Momo? Caffeine is a drug? Yeah, I guess in some ways you can consider caffeine to be a drug. Yeah, 100%. I don't really consume a whole lot of caffeine though. G Fuel is really my only take of caffeine that I get, and I don't even have that every day. So, yeah, Pack a Punch, hell yeah, dude. All right, we do have enough for the Bible ending here. I want to try to get to like, let's try to get all the way through round 25, and then we'll get the Bible ending. Hennis, have I been showing good support? Yeah, Ernesto, you 100% have, man. Definitely. Hey, what's up, Void Stone Crusher? I haven't said hello to you in a while either, man. But I know you're an OG as well. God, I gotta get better at reading the chat, man. Like, I know, like, obviously my channel is growing, so there's more people in the chat, but, like, there's so many of you guys that I gotta interact with. It's crazy. I gotta try to get better at that. Two zombies left. Those poor souls that are gonna spawn here. How did he just hit me? What's good, Trey? How you doing today, Logan? Welcome to the stream. What's your favorite map on COD, and how have you liked the game? My favorite map on COD? So if we're talking like favorite zombies map, my favorite zombies map of all time, I know this like doesn't seem right, but it has to be Nuketown. I know, like Nuketown from Black Ops 2. I absolutely love that map. Absolutely love that map. It was so much fun. I really like simplicity when it comes to zombies maps, which is why I think in a lot of ways it's why I like custom zombies maps so much, because a lot of them are so simple, but they're so cool. Hold on, I want to up my graphics here because this camo looks too good. Let's just turn everything on high. Hopefully my PC doesn't like freak out, because I'm streaming and playing off the same PC. So let's just turn everything up like all the way. See how much better this looks. Ooh, ooh. Okay, I'm still getting like 150 FPS. A little bit of lag here and there, but that does look really, really nice. Wait, this weapon has like no kick to it. Watch, when you shoot this weapon, look at it. The weapon like doesn't move at all. You can tell that's a custom weapon, right? That's actually kind of funny. Alright, I'm gonna turn this back down just in case my PC does low-key freak out. Oops. Alright, yeah, now we're getting much better FPS. Hell yeah. At least on my end. I mean, don't get me wrong, 150 FPS is still ridiculously good, but... Hennis for life. Hey, what's up, Chandler? Hennis, please don't delete this, but how do I earn/get mod? In all honesty, brother, you just gotta be consistent, supporting the stream a lot. There's really no, like, definite way to get mod. Yeah, because, you know, in all honesty, like, there's a lot of people in my stream that deserve mod, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But I can't mod every single person in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only problem. So, I honestly, when I do start to look for new mods, whenever that time comes, I'll be looking towards a lot of people just like yourself in the chat who support me a lot, who are in here consistently, who are always nice, they're never spamming, as people who I think would make great mod candidates. That's sort of what I'm looking for. I love how that zombie's just like a normal looking dude. Like, you guys notice this? These aren't even zombies. These are just people. It's kind of creepy. What's up, Trey? Why don't you play on Xbox? I don't have an Xbox, man. Sponsor account's broken? I know sponsor account's broken. Alright, I said I was going to get the Bible ending right after this. How many likes do we have? Yo, we're at 854 likes. I'll tell you guys this right now. As soon as we hit 900 likes, I will get the Bible ending for this map. I will get the Bible ending for this map. So all you guys got to do, if you want me to beat this map, help us get to 900 likes. I would really appreciate it. We are exactly 46 likes away. So let's get a hashtag like spike in the chat, and then we'll move on to the next map right after this. Zombies are people? What? Yeah, man, this is like a deep message, right? All people are zombies, and all zombies are actually people. Riddle me that, chat. Ooh. What's up, Julian? How you doing today? Welcome to the stream. How many likes do we have? 856? Alright. Let's just gotta wait for the live like count to update here. This pistol's insane. Absolutely insane. This thing's crazy, dude. Did we hit it? Hey, we hit 900 likes, guys. Thank you all very much. We're actually close to 1,000 now, too. Holy crap. But a deal's a deal. I'm gonna get the Bible ending right here. Let's just finish up this round. 6 zombies left. You won. Let's get it, baby. Let's get some pro GGGs in the chat. We just beat the Wall Riders challenge. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. How do you get custom zombies maps on the PC? You got to be able to download them through the Steam Workshop, man. So if you go into the Steam Workshop for Black Ops 3 and you look at all the items that are made, you should be able to see all the, like, the custom zombies maps and stuff.